Welcome back. We do have something quite special for our Friday Flicks today. A new comedy called Bros is setting out to break new ground.
That's right, and film critics Pam Powell and Chuck Koplinski sat down with the stars of the film to talk about their experience making it.
Did you know that people are intimidated by you?
Yeah.
I find that odd.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just from doing Billy on the Street all those years. You know, I always had a kind of very bold comedic persona. And I don't know. I guess people are drawn to it, but they're also a little scared of it, which is how our characters are with each other.
I think the first thing I say to him is, "You look angry."
In the movie, yeah. And that comes from real life. People always come up to me if I'm at a bar or something, and they would say, "You look angry," and literally what I say to him in the movie is what I always say. It's like, that's just how I look. I don't know. I don't feel angry. But I don't know. That's how it is sometimes.
I need to thank you for Billy on the Street. It was one of the few shows my son would watch with me. So thank you for that.
That's nice. Thank you.
And that intimidated me.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking a little bit about your real life, how much is put into the movie from your actual life experiences, and what was the litmus test for saying, yes, that goes in, no, that doesn't?
Well, I made the movie with Judd Apatow and Nick Stoller. Those guys have made some of the funniest and also most heartwarming movies of the past 20 years. And I just wanted to do something that was very funny, but also very honest. You know, that required me to pull things from my real life, even if that put me in a very vulnerable position. But I think it's important to tell the truth and to take it as an opportunity to really tell a version of my story. It's not identical. It's not a documentary, but I obviously did pull a lot from real life, both for comedy in terms of us meeting in the movie and dating and navigating dating apps and texting and all the nonsense that we put each other through as single people in 2022, communicating through our phones, and also a lot of the stuff I had to navigate professionally as an openly gay person for 20 years.
Yeah. Now this is pretty far away from the Hallmark movies you've been making.
Well, they're both romantic comedies.
That's true. But what shocked me, I shouldn't say shocked me, but surprised me, were the sex scenes in the film. You know, they've almost disappeared because of Me Too. How did you get comfortable with all of this?
Well, you know, nowadays we have intimacy coordinators on set, and I think it's a case by case. You know, I've done intimacy on camera before, and it's always what you figure out with your scene partner. And Billy and I think very quickly had a sort of idea about what it was supposed to be, and we trusted each other. So the intimacy coordinator just essentially brokered a deal with us. It was like, if he says this word and you say this word, we're going to call cut and it's going to be over. Because we just, that was the kind of way, because we had to experiment, we had to play, it had to be kind of improv and impulsy.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a Judd Apatow movie. There's a history there of kind of wild, raunchy scenes, right? And so just because this is about two gay guys, you know, if Sacha Baron Cohen can roll around naked with a guy in Borat, and that's hilarious, which it was, and why can't we do that too? You know, it's everything we did, from the sex scenes to the things that are more romantic, everything we did, the goal was to be as explosively funny as possible. Sex is really funny to me. It's absurd, it's awkward, or it can be sweet and romantic. It's all of those things. It's part of the dating game that we're playing in the movie, and, you know, we wanted to reflect that.
Billy, this is an eye-opening film for someone who is not a part of the LGBTQ community. What do you hope people from that community will take away from the film?
I want everyone to take away a very fun, funny experience. You know, I grew up loving romantic comedies when Harry Met Sally and Moonstruck and Working Girl, Broadcast News, which is my favorite movie of all time, you know. But as a gay kid and even a gay adult, I watch those movies and I'm gay, the characters are straight, but I can relate. You know what I mean? I love those movies. And those were the types of movies I wanted to make. So there's really no reason that straight people shouldn't watch Bros and also relate to what's happening, because our lives are not identical. It's cool to see where they overlap. It's cool to see how they're different. But ultimately, the emotions underneath are the same, generally speaking, and I think it's cool. I think it's giving people a reason to go to a movie theater because it's unlike any romantic comedy they've ever seen.
Yeah, going to the movies in general is about trying to understand somebody else's life and seeing yourself in it. You know, if we only went to movies that were about us, we wouldn't see very many movies.
But hopefully in a joyful way, because so many of the gay LGBTQ stories we've gotten from Hollywood over the years, at least the more high-profile ones, are always about the the challenges of being gay, and we're suffering and we're tortured and it's the 50s and we're in the closet and we're dying, literally dying, and in roles that were almost always played by straight actors, right?
Very well, we should say. Very well.
But still, and so but that's not my experience as a gay person. It's very joyful, it's fun, it's sexy, it's romantic, it's all of those things. So we need these stories as much as we need those stories.
In an interview recently, you said, in reference to rights that are being threatened, you said, we've got to keep fighting for the handful of rights that we managed to acquire, because every time we make progress, the other side gets scared and pushes back. This question's for both of you. How does this film help in that fight?
Well, I don't think a romantic comedy can, change the political landscape. And that was never our intention. We wanted to make a funny Judd Apatow movie that happens to be about gay guys. However, I think it's a gay love story, right? It's showing us as multi-dimensional human beings. We're not the wacky gay neighbor. We're not the best friend trying to counsel a straight woman on how she can succeed in love, which is often what we've gotten. We are our own individual people going through life and navigating love. And I think it shows us as human beings that we should all be compassionate towards, and it's crazy that we still have to fight for the rights that we have. Part of our society is very backwards and has always used gay people as a scapegoat, mostly to stay rich and powerful. This isn't a political movie, it's a comedy, but I do think it validates and puts gay relationships on the type of pedestal we've always seen straight relationships be put on in Hollywood.
Honestly, I would like to say, too, that if this movie makes lots of money, people will have to pay attention to it. That's kind of the way our world works, so I hope it makes money.
Yeah.
That'll be good for politics.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you both so much for joining us to talk about
Thank you
this
very much.
incredible new rom-com, Bros.
Thank you.